Hello and welcome to Go Southern Alberta. My name's Leanne Evans. Coming up on today's show, I'm joined by Beth, and we're going to be talking all about Parkinson's disease and how April is the awareness month for the disease and some of the events that are coming up later on in the year. But first, let's take a look at what else is coming up on Go Southern Alberta.
So aside from being a police officer Monday to Friday assigned to Crescent Heights, I also volunteer here at the Champion Centre by hosting a Sunday supper for basically anyone in the community that wants to take advantage of it.
Well, welcome back to Go Southern Alberta. As I mentioned earlier, we're talking all about the Parkinson Disease Awareness Month. I'm joined here with Beth, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Leanne, for having me.
Why don't you start off a little bit by telling me a little bit about Parkinson's disease?
Well, Parkinson's disease is a progressive brain disease that affects primarily men, but women do have it as well. And what happens is there's a piece in our brain called the substantia nigra that dies, and that produces dopamine, which sends transmitters and messages. And what happens then is as that piece of the brain starts to die off, people don't produce the dopamine, so they have to go on a synthetic form of dopamine that's prescribed by a specialist, such as a neurologist or a family practitioner.
All right, now April is all about Parkinson's disease. It's the awareness month, so lots of things are happening.
You're right, there is a lot of things happening. So I'd like to share today with you and the audience what's going on for Parkinson Alberta in Medicine Hat. So starting as of April 1st, it's our awareness campaign throughout the entire month. And here in Medicine Hat, we have pots of tulips that we will be selling at different locations in the city the week of April the 13th to the 18th, and also in Redcliffe. So if people are interested in purchasing a pot, they can give me a call at the office, and I'll give that number later on in the interview. We also have chocolate tulips, which are edible, that people can buy too, that I have here in the office as well. For those that can't take care of a real plant, they can have one they can eat. Along with this, we have our annual education day, and it's called Chasing Hope Through Art and Humor. And I'm bringing in a special speaker from Vancouver, a woman by the name of Robin Michelle Levy, who was diagnosed 7 years ago with Parkinson's disease and 8 months later with breast cancer. And she is coming to Medicine Hat for April 14th, and we're holding a presentation at 2 and 7 p.m. at the Public Library Theatre, and it's open to anybody to attend. I just ask people will call the office and let me know what presentation time they want to come. But she's going to be sharing her story through humor and laughter, and there's also some sad moments about it. Her husband, Bergam, is going to be along as well, and then they're going to have a question and answer period following the presentation. And then we're really excited as an organization because we're grassroots. We're the only organization in Alberta that provides services for people living with Parkinson's disease, their care partners and family. We are launching our Aware and Care Kits. This is a brand new initiative. We've collaborated and joined with the National Parkinson Foundation in the States in Florida. And so we've brought this tool to Canada and we've converted it to be Canadian language. And the tool is for people with Parkinson's. So if a person's going to a hospital, the tools that are in there will help them get better service while they're in the hospital, make sure they're getting their medications on time, because that's vitally important for people with Parkinson's disease. And the Aware and Care Kit, is available. And if anybody's interested, they can get in touch with me here at the office. The office number is 403-526-5521.
I love the idea of the toolkit because, it's something that helps out the patient as well.
Absolutely, because oftentimes when people go into hospital that have Parkinson's disease, it's a very trying time, and, it's stressful, and it's not a very well-known chronic illness still in this time and day. And so what we want to do is raise more awareness, hoping AHS staff will understand about the tool, get used to the tool, understand what's involved, and it'll help.
Absolutely, and that's why it's important to have, the Awareness Month.
Absolutely, that's why.
All right, well, we'll be back with you a little bit later on in the show to talk about some of the events that are coming up later on in May, so stay tuned right here on Go Southern Alberta. Well, welcome back to Go Southern Alberta. I'm joined here with Beth. Today we're talking all about Parkinson's disease and how April is Parkinson's Disease Awareness Month. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Leanne.
Now, why don't we start off by talking a little bit about how many people in Alberta is affected by this disease?
Well, what we're told is we know that there's over 8,000 people that are directly affected by Parkinson's disease. Then if you double that, because if they're married with a wife or husband, there's 16,000. And then if they have children, that number also gets counted in. So I can't give you an actual definite number as to, but that's how I kind of report it.
Now, you're saying off camera that this is, just after Alzheimer's, the number 2 neurological disease.
That's correct. It's the second neurological disease following Alzheimer's.
All right. So April is the awareness month for Parkinson's disease. Earlier, we're talking about some of the events or some of the things that you can do. Coming up in May, there's some more events. Tell me about that.
We are having our Hope Conference, and this year it's with a new twist. The Hope Conference typically takes place either in Calgary or Edmonton, but this year we fanned it out to all the regions. So all regions will be hosting a Hope Conference on May 23rd, and it's an all-day conference. Doors open at 7:30 and doors close at 4 o'clock. Here in Medicine Hat, the Hope Conference will be at the Esplanade in the studio room, and continental breakfast and lunch is included, and we're going to have a keynote speaker webcasted live from Calgary. Her name is Dr. Becky Farley, and she's going to be talking about a brand new program she's designed for Parkinson people. It's called Power Up for 4. And then we also have our AGM, and then the afternoon we have here in Medicine Hat a speaker from the Foothills Movement Disorders Clinic coming. He's a neurologist talking about non-motor symptoms of Parkinson's, and then the following speaker is a owner of a private physical therapy business from Excel Physical Therapy. She's going to be talking about urban polling. So it's a jam-packed day, and it's well worth the while to attend.
So why do you feel it's so important to have something like this available?
Well, we're a rural community, and oftentimes rural communities have a very hard time getting specialists to come into the cities. So we're fortunate this year having a Regional Hope Conference that we actually can get professionals that are specialists that deal with Parkinson's disease and movement disorders. So that's why I think it's so exciting.
Absolutely. It's nice to have it also local here in Medicine Hat.
Well, see, part of the trouble for our people with Parkinson's, they have difficulty traveling. And so if they have to make a trip to Edmonton, which can take anywhere from 6 to 8 hours, depending upon how often they have to stop to get out and move around, it's very tiring. So having it here locally is wonderful for them. They just have to step out their door, get in their car, and drive downtown.
Absolutely. Now, it doesn't stop there. There's more coming up in September.
There is. We are excited. We are having our Flex Air Parkinson Step and Stride Walk. It is happening September 13th, which is a Sunday at Police Point Park. And the walk starts at 1 o'clock. And if people are interested, they can sign up online at our website, www.parkinsonalberta.ca, and they can put themselves in as a team or an individual. And we're going to have prizes, and we're going to have some food there. So it's a really fun family afternoon. Following the walk, we're having a wine and food pairing evening, and we're having it in late October. So I recommend people stay in touch with the office here in Medicine Hat to find out when that's going to be happening as well.
All right, so there's tons of events coming up. People can stay in touch with the website, and how can they get in contact with you?
They can contact me by calling 403-526-5521. They can also go to our website, and they can find me on the website, and they can click on and get my email address. If people are looking for information about Parkinson's disease, again, the website is a very good resource, as well as dropping into our office. I've got a library here that has books. I've got print material, so we've got a wealth of information that we're more than willing and happy to hand out.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Leanne.
All right. Well, we have lots more coming up on Go Southern Alberta, so stay tuned right here on Shaw TV. Well, that wraps up our show for today. Big thanks to Beth for telling us all about the Parkinson Awareness Month in April and all the events that are coming up in the coming months. Now, if you want any more information on that, they can be found online at www.parkinsonalberta.ca. And if you're online, check us out on Facebook at Shaw TV Medicine Hat, also on Twitter at Shaw TV The Hat. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Totally screwed that up, so I'm going to do that again. All right, let's start that over. Go Southern Alberta. My name. Well, welcome. Up.